So you guys, you are pro-choice. Whose choice is this? The mother's choice, of course. What about the baby? The baby doesn't get a choice. And the father? The father doesn't get a choice either. All right. Now, this choice you keep bringing up, what is this really? Oh, I'm glad you asked. The choice is that of chopping the limbs of the baby one by one and then suctioning the whole thing out with a vacuuming device. Oh, my God!
Oh, my Lord.
I think, excuse me. I think I'm going with these guys. And I thought the worst thing you can do to your kids is equity release.
Nicolas De Santo. Now, Nicolas De Santo is gonna make some serious good jokes in support of his ideology as a pro-lifer. I want you to take a listen because this guy is hilarious.
Nicolas De Santo!
Thank you very much. It's good to be here. You guys have kids? Yeah? You see, people say the day my child was born was the most beautiful, the most exciting day of my life. These people have clearly never been released from an Iranian prison. Am I right? Seriously. Yeah, slogans, huh? I know, I love kids. I've got two lovely kids and a wife. My wife is Austrian and vegetarian, so it's good to be here. It's good to be anywhere but home. Listen, guys, I feel there's a good vibe in this room. I feel the warmth. I feel safe, so I'm going to say something, and I don't care who hears this. I'm just going to say it, okay? I'm going to say it. Nazis were bad. There you go. I said it. It's out there. I can't take it back. Can I? Nazis were bad, and they did horrible things. And one of the worst things they did was getting rid of the so-called unwanted, defective people who would have been a burden or deemed as a burden on the society, including unborn babies. I will be doing some jokes later. Don't worry about that. So all my life, I've been told that it was wrong, it was bad to get rid of unborn babies because they would have been a burden on the German Reich and its aspirations of world supremacy. But nowadays we are being told that it's good to get rid of unborn babies because they would be a burden on Karen from accounting and her aspirations of getting a promotion. I mean, I don't get that. If anything, Nazis made a better case. Bear with me on this one. Bear with me. The Nazis would go to this unborn baby, you got to die. But why? I tell you why. Because all German-speaking folk must be reunited in one single ancestral fatherland. That's why. Because the Versailles Treaty was a travesty. You don't know much about the Versailles Treaty, do you? We lost Danzig. Our territorial integrity has been interrupted. There are Germans now living under Poland, under Czechoslovakia. There are Germans living under Mussolini. Well, we kind of like Mussolini, but that's not the point. Das ist nicht der Punkt. We need to make this wrong right, and we cannot sustain the war effort.
I love what he's doing here. He's laying a strong foundation for an argument that he's going to do. He's gonna, okay, the room is gonna get on fire in a minute. You'll see what I mean.
If we were to take care of the likes of you, so you got to die, unless you can become a German soldier who can also speak English, because according to all future World War II movies, the Wehrmacht personnel talked English to each other. Otherwise, you got to die. Now, fast forward to our time, you tell the unborn baby, you got to die. Why? I tell you why. Because your mom needs to continue to do after work drinks and Peloton. Do you know?
You heard that?
Do you know how much Peloton subscription costs? Because your mom is a junior events manager with Thompson & Thompson. She wants to become a senior events manager with Thompson.
That is actually funny. He's saying this because the pro-life argument against the pro-choice argument is very parallel here to his jokes. But the thing is, the pro-choicers will say this. They will say stuff like that. Their career, their dreams, their vision is what matters to them, and they don't care. Having children is not something that they want. Now, I do agree. We got to have children in the right circumstance, being married, make sure the child is secure, make sure we provide for the child before they are born. I don't believe we should just go out there with the sexual revolution and just laying around with everyone. And then when you find out you're pregnant, you're like, no, that's not the solution either. But actually canceling the child is even worse than the actual act of having the child at a time when you weren't ready to have a child. So that's my perspective on that. Let's keep listening.
Thompson, what the hell is an events manager anyway? At least the Nazis had a clear, defined goal based on solid geopolitical principles. Our land is flat.
They did.
We are sandwiched between Russia and France. We need to take them out. Some of you are sitting here thinking, the Nazis did make a lot of sense. This is going seriously better than it did at University of Southampton campus. Where were you when I needed you?
I love the dry humor.
Yeah. A lot of women killing their babies for their careers. Can you imagine killing your baby for your career and still be paid 30% less than a man? Can you imagine that? I mean, you can only imagine that because gender pay gap is a myth.
Yeah. It is ridiculous. Some people are going to be so upset listening to this. This is 3 months old, by the way. It's still getting traction online.
It has been debunked time and time again. But can you imagine that? We can only imagine that. Yeah, so in the U.S., the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, and that was a serious blow to casual dating and casual sex. But it was a major victory for babies who want to live. So, glass half full.
After the turning of Roe v. Wade, I remember some of the women were beginning to boycott sex with men. They were saying, we're not laying with you unless, you meet these criterias. And I'm like, that's exactly what you should have done in the first place. You could go back and believe what the Bible says, right? You shall not commit adultery. You know what I'm saying? So fornication is in there. In other words, get married, settle down, do this stuff in a secure environment. But sometimes easier said than done for some people. And I get it. God is patient, and I must be patient with others as well. I had my past. But the thing is, you can't blame the Supreme Court for putting laws in place to restrain you. That doesn't mean you're going to be restrained. Only the Holy Ghost can restrain some of us. We are crazy in our head. Anyway, let's keep going.
And it was a major victory for Catholic biology. Do you guys know Catholic biology?
Catholic biology.
I was born in Italy. I went to Catholic school. According to progressive biology, they say my body, my choice, because according to progressive biology, a woman, at some points in her life, she has a second beating heart, an extra pair of kidneys, 4 extra limbs. But according to Catholic biology, a woman throughout her life has only one brain, one heart, and so forth. So, in other words, if you are a woman...
You don't have to say Catholic biology. You could say biblical biology. And true biology confirms this, okay? But even biology is under attack today.
And you ever find a second beating heart in your body, it's not your body. And if you're a man and you ever find a second beating heart in your body, it's not your body.
Yo, he's taking a jab at the trans movement right now. You hearing this guy?
Also, you are not a man. So yeah.
What did you just say?
Also, you are not a man. So yeah, the U.S., it's a big problem for casual sex because in these blue states, a lot of single women are angry. They're like, are you telling me that tonight when I go clubbing, I need to find somebody who could potentially step up to the situation and take care of me and the baby if the baby comes up? Are you telling me that tonight when I go clubbing, before I open my legs for this total stranger, I need to first ascertain that he is responsible and kind?
Yes.
Thank you very much, Supreme Court. Thanks for nothing. So in America, Disney Corporation... nobody said this was going to be easy, guys.
Oh, man, I love him.
Disney Corporation is paying travel expenses for its employees so they can travel to blue states and get an abortion. I mean, Disney produces content for children,
Yeah.
and now they're subsidizing the killing of children?
I never made that link. But yeah, good point. Yeah, I told you he's good.
I mean, it doesn't make sense. You're killing your own future customer. It's like,
Oh my goodness. Listen, isn't he funny? Comment below. Because you killing your own future customers.
I mean, it doesn't make sense. You're killing your own future customer. It's like Central London declaring war on Russian oligarchs. Makes no sense. So Disney, in a statement, Disney said, we are doing this because we understand women's reproductive rights. What we don't understand is irony. But now, in America, Planned Parenthood, they are coming with...
What about children's right to exist?
But now, in America, Planned Parenthood, they are coming with mobile abortion clinics. They're using these RV wagons,
Mobile.
turning them into
Sounds like abortion on the go. drive right through. It's just ridiculous, man.
mobile abortion clinics, driving close to the borders of the red
Oh, wow.
states, trying to lure pregnant women to these clinics. I mean, that is some serious commitment, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
These people must really, really love killing black babies.
Black babies. Good point. Not just black babies, all type of babies, but among them are black babies. The rating is so much higher among the blacks. It's ridiculous. Anyway,
Because they're all black. Mostly, every second black baby in America is aborted. Did you know that?
Every second.
You can try. Wrong laugh. But
They don't want to laugh. It's okay to laugh. I give this guy a thumbs up. It's okay to laugh because people are having a hard time laughing because what he's saying is true. It's like you could tell there's a lot of pro-choice, people in the group, but they're having a hard time accepting his jokes. But where's the lie, though? Is he lying about any of this stuff? I don't think he is.
okay. You can try not to laugh, but you cannot not learn.
I love that. You can try not to laugh, but you cannot not learn. It's funny.
Okay.
That's crazy.
You can try not to laugh, but you cannot not learn.
I tell you, I went and preached at a church recently, and I spoke about abortion. I took the First Kings story with King Solomon and the splitting of the baby, slashing the baby in half, give one to the mother and one to the other. So that was the story that I used to introduce abortion in a discussion. Boy, I gotta tell you, the room was cold. There was no laughter. I heard mourning. It's one of those subjects, even in church, that is barely even touched. So as a comedian, I commend Nicholas DeSanto for that, because very few comedians will ever touch this issue in the way that he is, and he stays on top of it. He's not just touching and running, which I've seen other comedians done that. Even Chris Rock touched it, even Dave Chappelle touched it, and they run. But he's sitting on it. And I love that. He is sitting on it. He put his knee on the neck of that issue, and he continues to press the issue. Amazing.
Yeah. I mean, even the Nazis were not like that. They didn't come up with, their iconic Volkswagen camper vans, driving close to the Swiss border with their mobile gas chambers, trying to tempt the Swiss to give up their Jews. The Nazis had principles. We haven't the principe. If we conquer the land fair and square, we exterminate. Otherwise, we don't just drive and...
Wow.
They didn't do that. But by the way, what sort of messed up, cynical name is it? Planned Parenthood. Because there's no planning and there's no parenthood.
No.
I'm planning to become a parent. Okay, let's start with killing your baby. By the time you leave the clinic, there's no parenthood. It's like I am planning my visit to Australia and I start by shredding my tickets to Australia.
No. Oh my Lord, he is too much.
Doesn't make sense.
I'm gonna put a link to his video in the description below, okay, so you can go watch it without me, without me flipping over here.
Tickets to Australia. Doesn't make sense. But it's all about catchy names and marketing, right? Planned Parenthood sounds catchy. You have something similar concept in this country. You call it equity release.
Equity release.
You know, equity release. It's like Americans are more honest about it. They call it reverse mortgage.
Exactly.
It's when you sell your house back to the bank so you can go on cruise holidays.
So he's taking a little detour. You know, he's allowing them room to breathe, but he's gonna come back to the same issue.
Like, but you call it, who doesn't like equity? Who doesn't like release? Huh? It's a terrible concept. It's like, hey, the bank comes to, hey, have you got a house in the southeast, in southeast England? Okay, good for you. Do you know your children will never have a house and their only chance of ever getting a house is this house? All right, do you have a dark sense of humor? Yeah, you're a baby boomer. Yeah, your grandfathers fought the war. Your parents rebuilt the country, and then you came right in the middle of the economic boom. Hence, boomer, right? Bought your house for £100, went to university for free, retired at the age of 45. Yes, my friend, you deserve a lifetime of cruise ships ahead of you. Equity release. Well, that's what the bank does to you. It's all about marketing. Like credit card debt is such a big problem now in this country. The government is forcing banks to provide customers with money management tools. And when you consult these money management tools, some of them are actually quite horrible. You go on the bank's website, money management tool, let me see what they... Let's check this out. And it says, are you thinking of purchasing something? Mm-hmm. Have you considered not purchasing it instead? Or maybe purchase it in a smaller quantity or less frequently? Of course, the bank doesn't teach you money management. The bank has an interest to charge you interest.
That's right.
That is literally a conflict of interest. Thank you. Your bank, please laugh quickly, my set is short. Your bank teaching you money management is like your favorite restaurant teaching you farming. Or like your local abortion clinic teaching you responsibility.
You see, he's coming back. He's coming back.
Yes, the night has a theme. I've learned that Edinburgh Fringe Festival looks favorably on comedians who have a common theme in the whole, throughout the set. Yeah, but that's what the banks do. And of course, in America, you have pro-choice and pro-life, right? So it's all about catchy names. So you go to these guys, hey, you are pro-life, right? What's this all about? Yeah, we are pro-life, so we want the baby to live. So you mean the mother dies? No, the mother doesn't die. We are pro-life. The father dies? Nobody dies. We are pro-life, okay? Got it? It seems very reasonable. Thank you. Let me check out these other guys as well. I'll come back to you. But I'm on to you guys. All right. So you guys, you are pro-choice. Whose choice is this? The mother's choice, of course. What about the baby? The baby doesn't get a choice. And the father? The father doesn't get a choice either. All right. Now, this choice you keep bringing up, what is this really? Oh, I'm glad you asked. The choice is that of chopping the limbs of the baby one by one and then suctioning the whole thing out with a vacuuming device. Oh, my God!
Oh, my Lord.
I think, excuse me. I think I'm going with these guys. And I thought the worst thing you can do to your kids is equity release.
Yeah. No.
I wish I could do this.
No.
In my.
You know, that's really what is been going on, though. Is people don't either people who are pro-choicers, they either did not look into how an abortion take place, like what happened when a child is being canceled. It's one of those things once you see it, once you hear a good description of what that is, it changes everything. For some people, if you have heart, sympathy, and understanding, at least compassion for a child, when you see what happens there, it's crazy. I saw a movie called Unplanned. In the movie, they were showing oftentimes when it's time to either suction or vacuum the child from inside the mother's womb, the child tends to actually run away from the vacuum. He runs. He doesn't want it. He realizes this is bad news. This is what we are voting for. This is what we're making a whole bunch of noise for. Some people are marching in the streets for. It's like, there must be some alternatives. That is definitely not it.
My country of birth, Italy, but Italians are less into killing their babies. And also, we have a bigger problem. In Italy, we don't have stand-up because the weather is nice outside. So I love it here because the British have the best sense of humor. You know, when you think about it, I know Radu was talking about it earlier. It's true. You have the best sense of humor because if my country also had won both world wars and was still smaller and poorer than Germany, I would want to have a bloody good laugh about it as well. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight here we made history. You've just seen the world's only pro-life stand-up act.
Yes.
Which means you have just seen the world's funniest pro-life stand-up act. So, if nothing else works out for you in your lives, nobody can take this from you tonight. It's so easy to be on top of your field as a right-wing comedian when the field is very much a desert, right?
Yeah.
People say you are so brave. I'm just lazy. Anyways, you've been a wonderful audience. I have been the funniest Italian-Iranian comic you've ever seen. Thank you very much. Take care.
That was good. I must say, that was a really good one for me. Yeah, for as funny as he was, from my perspective, he doesn't get much views. 30,000, that's still not a lot. He is a brilliant comedian. He is funny. Yeah, even the people in the comments, some of the people loved his jokes. I really hope Nicholas DeSanto continues with his comedy pursuit. Clever, funny, and wholesome. Bravo, sir. It says, he was always on the good side of humanity. Respect to you. He said, dude, you have balls. Keep killing it. This guy is such a clever comic. Yeah. It's wickedly clever humor. Yeah, it is. I just love the way he put his arguments together. I have a number of videos coming from him because I think he's really, really nice. What do you guys think? This is different. You know, this is not the type of comedy that some of us like to laugh at. But nevertheless, his arguments were good. I got a final text to close this thing up. You know, where do I stand when it comes to this? The enemy, the thief cometh not, but to steal, to kill, to destroy. That's the work of the thief, which is the devil. And wherever you see killing, stealing, and destroying, you are watching the works of Satan. Now let's move on. I am come, Jesus says, that they might have life, pro-life, that they might have it more abundantly. You heard it. You know, there are people who've made decisions to cancel their child under pressure. There were other circumstances, and they had a perspective that they didn't think of it as something that was wrong. And God is merciful. He's a forgiving God. And he can work with us when we make mistakes. But now that you know, don't do it again. Now that you know, plan for your future. Now that you know, be careful who you allow to sleep with you. Now that you know, create a health and safe environment for your child. That's the answer. Canceling the child is not the answer. That's my thought on that. Comment below. What do you think about this video and this comedian? Do you think it was good? I really enjoyed him. I like stuff like that. Dry humor kind of things. That's my kind of stuff. I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one. Bye.